Hi everyone, here we are back in the Edwin ecosystem, and this time I'd like to talk about collections. Collections are essentially, you can think about it as a file or a place where you can collect information based on a specific topic, so that if students find information or they find learning objects in this case that are really helpful to maybe a project or some learning that they're doing, they can organize it into one specific place. So I could take the perspective of a teacher here, because a teacher could do this as well, or I may have my students do this. And I'm going to pretend that I am going to focus on a project looking at issues related to First Nations people in Canada. So what I've decided to do is to try to take a broad perspective here at the start. I'm just going to come to my search and I'm going to type in First Nation. So here we go, I've just hit search. And now I can see already I've got 139 different learning objects. And you can see right here there are a number of different types of learning objects right at the start. Now, typically what would happen is I would go through a learning object, read all about it, and then decide, is this useful? And if it is, I should probably put it into a collection so it's easy for me to get later. So the first thing here says, how did First Nations respond to assimilation? Which, you know what, I would consider that to be an issue, the issue of assimilation and also the response. So the way to add that from this screen into a community is I come right to here. It looks like a file folder, or sorry, into a collection, and I click on it. And I don't actually have a First Nation collection. So I'm going to go to create collection and type in First Nations. I'm going to hit the check mark. I've now got this collection. They now exist. And if I click on it, you can see now I have added that learning object to that collection. So that's fantastic. I'm going to come back to my main page. I'm going to skip the 7 Years' War. I'm not sure that's exactly what I want. What were the consequences of Confederation to First Nations? Yeah, that's probably something that would be important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the object to open it. So here I am now, and I can scroll through. I can, I would read this, decide, oh, there's some really good information in here. I think I want this. I think I want this learning object so I can easily access it later. So the way to do that is to come up to the top. You're going to see this collections again. So if I click on it up here at the top, and I click on First Nations, I have added this now to my collections. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to my search results. About here at the top. I'm going to scroll through a little bit more and maybe grab a few other things. Oh, there we go. Indigenous voice. That I think would be important. So I'm just going to add that to my collection. And then I'm going to say lastly, see, about claiming my identity. First Nations. So now what I've done is I've got these 4 learning objects added to my collection. Now, how do I find those? If I just come back, I'm going to click on sort of my start here. Here I am. I'm back on my main page. I just came back here because I thought it'd be a good starting point. You'll notice you are on the main menu page, which is here. You have library. Next is collections right here. And if I click, up come my collections right here, and you will see here is my First Nations collection right here. And if I just click on it to open it, there are my 4 learning objects. It's almost like having a binder right there on as one of your options on one of the main pages, so students can get back and forth and into their learning objects easily without having to try to search and find them over and over again. Or as a teacher, I can create this and then share with my students. So collections are one of those tools within the ecosystem that is incredibly important. So I hope this is useful for you, and I hope that you'll use this going forward. Thank you, and bye for now.